Hey, welcome to Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction. I'm Reed, and you're watching us on The Games Tavern. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. If this is your first time watching, be sure and hit that follow button. We'd love to see more of you. Make some noise in chat for our mods. I think DJ D20 Den is out there, and a big thank you to her for all her hard work. And let's kick off with our announcements.
That's me.
You, Alex.
That's me. I have a reminder, kind reminder. Be sure your friends, your family, your pet rock are all tuning in right now to our show. Because the second that we hit 25 viewers, we're giving away a mystery dice set from our friends over at 1985 Games. Once it's live, you'll be able to type in the exclamation point epic, and you would think I would know this immediately because it's fine, though. You do have to be a resident of the US or Canada, excluding Quebec. Here's the thing. We both reached for the last Reese's peanut butter egg at the same time, and they beat me. Therefore, they are dead to me. They are not allowed. Unfortunate, but your gain. You also must be a follower to enter. We'll continue to take entries until the end of the stream, so be sure to stick around, as you must be present at the end for present in chat at the end, so that way our tech staff can come by and get your information. Nailed it.
Oh, totally did. Totally did. Anyone else?
I think that's it. Let's get to the
That's
party.
it for the start. Okay, gang. All right. So, picking up from where we last left off, the party had quite a rainy night. After exploring the Never Death Graveyard, coming away from it, and then realizing that something very, very strange is going on, the party split up. They cased the Waterclock Guild, but possible Waterclock Guild master's house. After a few foiled climbing attempts and some little children spying on them on behalf of the Fat Man and his team, the rest of the group decided very quickly to maybe move on and figure out some other things. They confronted old, what was it? Give me his name here. I can get it. Rankin Daltotten, where he politely explained, look, he's in a tough situation. He can't say no, and he really doesn't want to hurt you guys, and he really thanks you for, being actually nice to him, when most people who hire him are actually jerks to him. And I believe you guys came to some sort of agreement where, within reason, he'd keep tabs on you, but he's not going to, do anything that's going to get his fingers broken. Fair enough?
By either side.
By either side, right? At least that's the theory. From there, the party split up with Turja and Sim deciding to be sneaky and break in quietly into the Waterclock Guildmaster's house. Strangely enough, and highly successfully enough, in the dark, without breaking anything. And Sim on her very, very best behavior, with Mother Turja Nighthawk watching her every move. Turja was able to open a safe, pull out 2 dusty books, a ring, and a sealing stamp. A wax sealing stamp. From there, the other party members had decided they were going to go visit the priests of Kellamvor one more time. As they visited, strange things occurred. As the patrol came out of City Guard and one city Kellamvor priest, when asked what happened, Vale picked up immediately that one of them appeared to be showing signs of enchantment that nothing had been seen. Asking for more details, they agreed to share some information with the Kellamvor priests. What information was that? Can you guys remember?
Yes, we offered them information about what went down in Daggerford with the hypothetical necromancer Mulgra.
Okay, very good. And from there, they shared that information in exchange for more information to be given back to them later as they approach the priests of Kellamvor again to figure out some things on the logs of what's gone in and out of the graveyard itself. Meeting back at the residence, You guys came together extremely late at night and decided to eventually crash in bed. You all went to sleep. You wake up the next morning. Sound of rain outside on the windows. Birds are chirping, albeit quietly. What do you wish to do as you come downstairs to the smell of breakfast cooking?
Lucy's gonna take just a quick minute and just like just very much prep himself for the morning. He's not, I don't think, so much a morning person, so he's just okay. Food. He's just gonna like let the thought of food drag him out of bed downstairs.
Okay.
Everything.
Anyone else?
Garlo is going to gets up a little bit earlier, but then spends a couple minutes just kind of writing some stuff down, and then it's like once it starts getting a little bit later, goes over to Sim's room and knocks on the door. Yeah.
Okay.
Oi, you up?
No answer.
In relation to the rooms, where is it all one hallway?
There's a long hallway.
It's all different hallways?
No, it's a long hallway.
Long hallway? Okay. I'm gonna imagine, I'm gonna like notice, if he's doing that, I'll probably come out and just keep walking past him. Just like...
Let me add to that. The stairway goes up to the center of a hallway that goes two different directions, and then there's some more hallways at the end, but your stuff is all right there in the middle on both sides of the hallway, on both sides of the hallway as well. So
Luciano just takes notes of him banging on the door, and I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just like...
If you want to get some training in, maybe after you're up, follow Lucy, and I'll say, I see him going, and I see he's such, because we've been together for a while, I see he's such a not morning person, and I say, too bad there's only one cup of bean juice downstairs, and I sprint past him.
Immediately, like, the realization takes a minute to kick in, and I, like, just, what? And sprint down the hall. Like, all of a sudden, everything is in gear, and I'm running full tilt.
I need Garlo to make an athletics check with advantage, and I need Luciano to make an athletics check to see who gets to the kitchen first.
If you wanted it to be just a straight thing, my movement speed's 35.
No,
Not the slow gnome anymore.
I also want to say, as soon as they take off, again, their backs are gone. That's when Sim pops her head out. Training?
Nat 20.
I'm a little hefty still, so I'm chugging along.
Yeah, and because you got below a 10, you actually like stumble on the stairs themselves.
I'm not awake.
Training!
Oh, you're up?
Close. Bust open the door to the kitchen, Garlo, and there is
Imagine he steps inside and I roll in.
Gherkin, along with the gentleman who's been sent up from Waterdeep.
Terry?
Terry.
Terry! I go and give Harry a hug. Terry, good to see you, man.
Thank you, sir. I'm cooking. Figured I'd make myself useful. He's doing a good job too.
Fine to see it. Happy to have you here, and you don't need to do the sir thing, Terry. We go way back.
Yes, sir.
All right. Is there any bean juice, Terry?
Oh, it's already prepared, sir. It's right there on the serving tray, along with cups for everyone. Please feel free to serve yourself.
I go and
We have
like grab
bacon,
the one.
eggs, cheeses, breads, an assortment of butters. Gherkin had the idea for the assortment of butters. I have to express, Gherkin, such exquisite choices and ways to make butter I never knew. I love exquisite butters. And from there, you are set up to a sumptuous feast. There's also, cooked vegetables to mix in if you wish. And at least besides bacon, there's also ham steak and a couple of things. Big feast for whatever reason.
I say,
In walks Lucy, a little bruised.
I'm just holding the cup in front of my, trying to make sure he doesn't look at the other ones. I'm just like,
And I, like, absent-mindedly, I'm just like, Terry, please tell me there's more. Terry?
Oh, hello, sir.
Terry,
We've
please.
made breakfast.
You made bean juice, right?
Right on the serving tray, sir.
And I just, like, go up and just, like, plant a big old kiss on his head, bless you. And I run past him to the bean juice.
you might want to
Gherkin
be
looks at him and
careful.
goes, so what kind of activity did you do for them that they love you this much? Sim,
Gentlemanly thing would be not to ask.
a few moments later, I'm assuming Sim, are you coming down and attempting to go in the kitchen as well?
Yes, it definitely is like skirting down, secondhand, chasing after, thinking I'm missing out on something fun.
One of the great things about the kitchen is in addition to buffet space, which is where all the foods are kept in the cooking area, there is a very large table in the middle of the room with plenty of seating for everyone. It may be a preparatory table under normal circumstances, but it's perfectly good, acceptable, usable table by everyone here. It's the informal dining area, if you will. The smells attack your nose of fresh cooked foods.
I take a piece of toast and I say, all right, you want to do some training, Sim?
Oh yeah, of course. And mimicking too the like handful of toast, and maybe shoving some bacon or whatever the meat stuff was. I already forgot.
How
No
very
need for beet
Sim-like.
juice. Just wake up, ready to go.
Just
Okay,
the
so
toast for Garlo. He's like, you don't train on a full stomach or else you throw up.
So
I'm
are
not going
you,
to tell Sim that.
are you going to fight under the covered archway veranda area, or are you fighting in the rain?
I'll give it to Sim. I say, either we can, go out and get like a natural shower kind of thing while we train, or we can just push all the counter or the couches and things out of the way in the middle room.
Oh well.
No,
I'll go-
there's an outdoor veranda that's covered. There's plenty of room for sparring. If you go big, not so much. But if you want to, there's plenty of room there. You may have to move some of the deck furniture outside in the rain.
I'll go easy on you this time. So let's just do the veranda. We'll keep it small.
Actually, that'll be perfect. So I go out to the veranda and I grab a change of clothes real quick from upstairs, and I put it on my immovable rod, click it up at about 5 feet or so. Like I click it up high, so it's like a dummy essentially. And I put the clothes there, and then I put like some pillows from the couch, and I put it inside, and so we have the training dummy essentially.
Okay, let's just hope you don't accidentally hit the rod. While you guys are outside, beating on the training dummy and doing your thing, I'm interested in hearing what Vale, Turja, and Rafe are doing.
So Vale got up early to go hit the market and pick up a chicken. And then
A
he's
live
gonna-
chicken or a
a live
ready to
chicken.
eat chicken?
No, live chicken. He'll bind the feed and put a little
Make Reed do chicken noises.
blinder on its head, little hood, and carry that back to the villa, and then he'll set up and watch the sparring that's about to happen.
Okay. So you come in around the fence line in the rain with a really wet chicken and yourself, and you see two people working over a what looks to be some kind of training dummy.
Did you get jealous of everyone else having a pet?
Oh, it's a study aid. I'm going to be hitting the books later.
Hitting the chicken with the book, or
Hitting the books
Why
with
would you
the
hit
chicken?
books? What did they
How'd
do
you
to
like
you?
the books? Yeah.
Is it like? Do they have Is that how you get information out of them at your level? Like
So
you just
apparently,
beat it out?
Luciano is standing in the doorway to the back veranda, leaning up, sipping his
Oh, yeah, I'm just watching. I'm hoping Sim's gonna beat up Garlo for the stress.
milk
he
him
put
as
me under this morning.
Tikachino. And you guys are just beating the daylights out of each other, and then in walks Vale with a chicken. Rafe, what are you doing?
Dude,
You're muted.
Muted.
As soon as all of the noisy people clear out of the kitchen, I am walking into the kitchen and grabbing some breakfast and saying hello to Terry.
Hello, sir.
And nice to see you, Terry. Very good work. And
Thank you.
taking my breakfast out onto the veranda, where hopefully I will not be run over by people sparring. And,
There is a
I'm
little
just gonna-
stairway that goes down, so there's plenty of room to sit there while they're
Yeah.
beating each other in the more flat area.
sit and watch them hit each other.
Okay.
I
Sergio?
grab a piece of toast and
Oh.
share
Okay.
it with the chicken.
Okay.
Then everyone starts making a bunch of noise in the kitchen. It wakes Turge up, and she goes down and she sees all the food.
Who are you?
I go down and I see all the food.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh,
Full
Terry.
spread, ma'am.
Wow, this is great. Thank you.
Well, when I got here, Gherkin said I had to show my worth, and I hope I succeeded.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you did. Thank you very much.
I learned
grab
quite a bit. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Which one of you learned quite a bit, Terry or Gherkin?
I did. Terry.
Oh, okay.
We don't look alike.
Apologies.
We don't
Anyway.
sound alike either.
I have to read something. Do you mind if I just take a plate to my room? I don't want to be rude and interrupt and ignore you guys, but I need to get something done.
As you wish, lady.
I just sort of shake my head and grab a plate and set some food on it and make sure I get lots of mastica bean juice. And I go back up to my room and I start reading the books I lifted last night.
Okay. Pouring through the books, you see that one is named Master Rights of the Water Clock Guild, and another is called Shablon's Water Clock Making. A mastery.
I go through the first one. That one seems more important.
Okay. That's going to take you a little bit to read, so while you're doing that, what's the beating of the dummy looking like?
I think it's Garlo is just showing how different weight with like using a heavier implement. So I let Sim borrow my glaive, not to use the sharp end of it, but just to be like how you swing and getting so you can use more of your weight into the swinging of having the heft of it, and then also just I just. And the other thing too is when you have something, something big and menacing, don't be afraid to drop it and pull out. And I grab my hand axe and my silver dagger. It's like you never have too many, just extra implements.
Do you even express like when you're going in, you pivot on your foot and swing your hip in, so you really get that all the way through the target and everything else. Okay, fair enough. Sim, what are you making of all this?
The dogged determination of yes, I am listening. I am going to master this. I'm a little wibbly wobbly. The concept of something bigger than the axe I've been using. Although I guess I have a bow still, but like there's something about the weight of the glaive, the unbalancedness of it that I'm not accustomed to. I am real quick to drop it in favor of the hand axe. That I have at my side, and like that's a drill I thoroughly enjoy. That's one that's fun, and I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this all day, throwing stuff on the ground. The fun part, like picking it back up and actually using the weapon.
Okay. Now, did you lose a hand axe at one point?
So that's a good question. I may or may not be re-listening to stuff. I no longer have two in my inventory.
That is correct, because you threw one and you were unable to retrieve it because of where
I
it
haven't
went.
been able to find out when. So
I think it was when you were in the sewers.
Which time?
Oh, the last time.
I will keep you apprised of the
Yeah.
situation. Because
Yeah.
I also had a vague memory of like not having two, but I have yet to find the evidence thereof. So as of right now,
Okay.
I have one.
Okay. Well, you're more than welcome to get yourself another one anytime.
That's different.
So,
I partway through the training and like seeing how enthusiastic Sim throws the glaive on the ground. maybe not this one. Vale, you ever play with the glaive before? And I toss it to him. Hopefully he's not holding his chicken.
He drops the piece of toast and catches the glaive.
While he catches it, be like, Garlo, you want to get embarrassed again?
as Vale catches the glaive, it resizes for him because it was gnome sized, and then it was sim sized, and then it was gnome sized, and now it's Vale sized.
Vale tries to give it to the chicken to see what happens.
Versailles.
Nothing.
What?
Okay.
It resizes.
It's good balance. Tosses it to Sim.
Ah!
Hey, what happened to your arm? What's the deal with that thing there?
Oh, this? Actually, it'd be this one because it's my left. Oh, funny you should ask, actually. So this one time, and at this point, I'm just gonna like, very casually be talking about this, swinging the glaive. I was a kid, and I went through a portal, as one does, and my hand got caught in it. And whoop, there it goes. So then I didn't have an arm, and then the lady who was taking care of me didn't like that I didn't have an arm, so she gifted me a new arm, and now I have this.
While she's telling the story, I'm gonna walk over to Garlo and just be like, "Know about her arm?"
I'm gonna be completely honest. I've always been really curious about it, but it just never really seemed like a good time to bring it up.
I thought it was like a sleep or something. I didn't know it was. It was gone.
Secrets
Well,
will make friends.
looks pretty awesome.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. You want to touch it?
Yeah. He'll,
It's solid wood, but you can still feel like movement of fingers and stuff. Like it's totally flexible. Like it's just almost bark skinned.
It's solid, hard wood, but it amazingly flexes whenever she wants it. But when you touch it, it feels like solid hardwood.
Did you want to hold my sword? It's magic.
I've heard this before.
Wait, no. Hey, sorry.
You have a girlfriend, Vale. Calm down.
Bonus
Where's the
action.
chicken right now?
The chicken is in my shield arm right now. I don't have the
Okay.
shield on.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my free hand, I Eldritch Knight summoned the Moonblade longsword into my hand. And
Yeah, let me touch it.
hand it to you. It glows like a torch.
Happy giggles. I'm now going to try to use that on the dummy instead.
Careful, it's sharp.
Okay, so you're going to use the longsword?
Yeah.
It feels surprisingly comfortable in your hands. I mean, it's a longsword. It just fits you. You feel like you can grab it with two hands, you can grab it with one hand. Either way works. You got power with two hands, you've got agility with one, you've got some options. You could use it with a hand axe in the other hand if you wished.
Ooh.
You got options with a longsword. That's the great part about it. Luciano, were you about to say something? I see you doing like the
It
pointing
appeared
thing.
All right, it appeared out of nowhere, right?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want to like. I'm just kind of like looking around, being like, "Where did he pull that out of?" Like very curious. You see a bag?
Maybe he's just a gifted magician sort of thing. Like a rabbit out of your hat. The
I want to
sword.
learn that one. Yeah.
A good trick.
Perja. Flipping back to you.
Okay.
How are you sitting in your room?
I am at. Is there like a desk area in my room?
There is.
I'm at the desk, just flipping through the book, taking notes whenever it seems relevant.
You place the 2 books on your desk. You notice the book from your master there on the desk as well. As you flip open the the master rights of the Water Clock Guild, there are a number of things that you cannot seem to read. It's either magically obscured or in some form of script that is encoded. That is not something you are experienced with. However, there are parts where you can read. They're mostly mathematical in nature. What you've discovered is that there are clocks that the water clocks are built in such a way that math makes them work. And with that, they expect the Water Clock Guild members who are making these things to also understand math as well as arcane equations, because they have to do that. There's some discussions on what day versus night is, some discussions on interplanar travel and day versus night. There's discussions on, how to leverage things from the other planes of elements to do your bidding. But in particular, you notice a lot of things discussing water creatures, water elemental creatures. There are a variety of them mentioned, some of which you can't understand what the names are, including, the water elemental. There's something called a mephit. There's a few things about making water with mephits using a fire mephit and an ice mephit to create and generate water continuously if you seal them in a barrel. Sounds like a jerk move, but believe it or not, wizards do it all the time. That being said, you also see some things about the rites themselves, which you see some drawings of 12-sided rooms. You hear some things about locks that, when opened or closed, lock for a certain period of time. And then you also notice some things about figuring out where locking mechanisms may be, maybe based on a mathematical equation itself. Not always very difficult, but not always very easy either.
I focus on the planar travel elements and the figuring out where locking mechanisms may be based on mathematical equations. My guess is that if we go to the other plane, we have to solve some sort of equation to figure out where we do whatever we do to get the thing open, the tomb open.
You see a large diagram that explains something about planes. Now, you can't make all of it out, but there's things about elemental planes. There's things about the various different planes that are run by gods of both good and bad, including a place called Avernus, which is a tropical paradise. There is also stuff about demi-planes, like the plane of shadow, and other similar effects as well. Some descriptions not always making sense. They talk about some of the things you have to do, like some of the magic circles to imprison these water elementals, and then bind them to the water clocks themselves, and some of the rites that do that. Not something you could completely understand, but you're pretty sure if Sahir were here, he could do it. Hold on one second. Okay, so, but it's enough, Sahir's taught you enough that you can understand some of the basics. But finding the clocks there's often inside the room, for the locking mechanisms, there's often inside a room a riddle that'll either open a magic portal or reveal where the locking mechanisms are. Most of the locking mechanisms that they discuss are run by water elementals themselves, but occasionally there's some additional things in there. And the locks either activate when the elementals are running and deactivate when they stop, or the other side, they activate when the elemental is running and deactivate when it's not. Or they activate when the water elemental is not there, which means it's in a constant lock state, and then the water elemental has to be activated in order to unlock the items there. And sometimes the real complex locks have both, and you have to figure out what's what. Oftentimes, there are electrical spells that are included into these effects to ensure that the water elemental is compliant and stays on time.
Okay.
That's what you get.
Well, I'm glad I could take notes.
That's what you get for free. We'll talk about an investigation check later.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys are all looking at these, swords appearing out of nowhere, drinking your Maztecan mocha, Mazteca chinos, and Luciano's marveling over, magic and other things. And Vale is still standing there with a chicken, just locked in one arm with a shield, while you guys are pummeling the daylights out of a dummy. By the way, the clothes that Garlo had on the dummy, those were your clothes, right?
Actually, I think I grabbed him out of Gherkin's room. No, they're just some old dirty travel clothes.
Okay. So those were your travel clothes. All right. So as you're pummeling it, eventually they do shred a little bit. I'm just going to give you a heads up. It's going to require a mending spell in order to fix them.
I'm
Should
pretty
you wish to
worn. I
fix
might
them.
just get another set. I got a man who shops for me. So.
How far
How quick
Garlo
Garlo
has
has
come.
gone from lowbrow to highbrow. Oh my
To
goodness.
pocket ham
Money.
to I have someone that shops for me. Cool.
Money. It's corrupting me. When you're this small, you can Scrooge McDuck in so much less money.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Funny.
Alright, but seriously, what the fuck is the chicken about?
I need to do a little blood magic later, and was picking up a component.
Do we say that casually? Is that a casual statement?
Is that not? Oh, sorry. It's a study aid.
I'm more nervous now.
I feel like you tried to scab over the blood thing, and I high five for Lucy to get me on that one. But that sounds interesting. I didn't know blood magic was a thing. Is it useful?
Where I come from,
Where's that?
the library.
Garlo, I'm never going in a library.
I'll allow it.
So, what kind of stuff can you do?
So, Sim, you lost the arm as a child?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I was pretty young.
Must have been traumatic.
I mean, I don't really remember it. I don't remember that part of it, at least. So. As far as I know, that's how I've always had it. It's my brother that told me that, I lost it. You know how it goes.
Can you do blood magic on wood?
No! I wouldn't mess with this if I were.
Wouldn't that be sap magic?
Oh, is there sap magic? And I'm
Leave my
leaning in.
arm alone!
That would be a violation of tree magical law.
I hear it's a real birch.
Oh. Oh.
I'm in rare form today. Just doing a little strut back.
Must have gotten some good sleep there, Gar.
Oh, it's just coffee.
Carlo,
This bean juice is great.
Leaf now. Leaf.
Leave it alone. You go, I'm going too far out on a limb.
I hate this. I'm gonna start walking. Trying to
yeah.
the door.
Everyone just goes back inside, leaves me outside. It's like, was that
So
the
you were
branch too far?
Long sorting the daylights out of this thing, and then you get all the way down to immovable rod. Whang!
Ah!
Not a knock in the sword. The sword isn't even dinged. The blade is still keen-edged.
That's a mighty cool sword you have. Here you go.
Thank you.
Oh, you're
Thank
muted.
you.
Oh, no, you're not. Okay.
I appreciate you letting me mess around with it a little bit. I don't have a whole lot of experience with different kinds of weapons. I do have that one that I picked up from the thing back in hell, whatever. The scimitar. Maybe next time. Next time, let's play with that.
Sure. Sounds good.
Sweet. Awesome. Oh, this is so cool. And officially bored. Going to walk back inside for breakfast.
Excuse me. You have a guest?
I have a guest?
Well, all of you do. It's Mr. Dalton.
Ah, perfect. Thank you, Terry.
Should I just send him out?
I think we're all done out here. We'll head in.
Well, he's in the foyer in the living room area.
Does he want breakfast?
We already provided him some toast and refreshment.
Always a step ahead. There's a good Terry, and I grab him by the cheek and do the little shake thing.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Sorry, there's more, right? And I continue just walking past him to the kitchen.
Oh, there's a full breakfast spread.
Oh no, yeah, I'm just like, I'm gonna go.
As you guys step into the living room area, there is Master Dalton, not Master, Mr. Dalton. He's standing there in a cloak pulled still somewhat tight, drenched in the rain. But he does appear to have a parcel. Within it's wrapped tightly in wax paper to keep the water out. Mr. Garlow, I have your package for you today. Exactly as discussed.
Good. Perfect.
Perfect.
Glad to hear it.
Ah, yes. One ever-burning candle, and he opens the parcel, pulls it out, hands it to you. And two, and you hear metal clinking as he pulls out 2 lanterns, one hooded and one bullseye. All you have to do is state illuminate to either. They both turn on. Illuminate, and they both turn off. There you go. To either of these, and while you're holding it, and it will light up brightly. So. But I hope that works for you.
Yeah, I think it'll do nicely. Thank you very much.
Well, whatever I can do, I do my best.
Perfect. I take my toys upstairs. go put them away and get cleaned up before I eat. Terry, some more tea for our guest here. Thank you very much.
Yes. And more of that bean juice, if you will. Very exotic, and it's exhilarating when you drink it. Anyway.
Careful now, it can be habit forming. You might not be able to function without it.
Mastic and bean juice may have side effects and may be habit forming. Please ask your chef if mastic and bean juice is right for you. Now, moving forward. As you go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, did you tell Gherkin you were bringing the chicken in the house? Is he okay with the chicken?
Is there
Gherkin
a no
does not
chicken
have
policy?
appear to have noticed the chicken.
I wouldn't say there's a no chicken policy. There's just a Gherkin kills fun policy.
Oh, there's nothing fun about this, I assure you.
Noted.
It kind of leans into you, Vale. It's just like the chicken likes you.
Yeah, and I like reach down to like.
What's its name?
I wouldn't befriend it if I were you.
But it's so easy. Look how cute he is. Oh my goodness. Just like very like. Oh.
I'll be right back. I've got a ritual to perform.
Are you gonna hurt it?
What's that?
Are you gonna hurt the chicken?
No.
When he says he's got a ritual to perform, I'm gonna be like, give Turja my best, and continue back to the kitchen.
You go upstairs, you enter your room. Turja, you hear someone come upstairs, then you hear another person come upstairs and and then you hear a door close.
I have no interest in this. I'm studying. I am considering going out and seeing if anyone can like figure out magic writing or de-magic it.
Okay. Vale, you enter your room. You close the door behind you. Can I have the music shut off for a moment? What do you do, Vale?
I restrain the chicken and then unsheath my fangs and sink them into the chicken, killing it.
That sounds like hurting the chicken.
Feathers fly everywhere.
And I'm rolling for some damage here.
Oh yeah,
So
chicken's down.
4 damage. Okay.
Yeah.
And
It's hurt.
I'll drain
This
it
isn't
dry
a cat,
to
man.
keep the mess to the minimum.
Okay.
Yes?
From there, you actually hear a sound from under your bed. And out pops a furry face of what can only be described as a badger.
Yes!
Dessert?
It's eyeballing the chicken.
Oh. Somebody's dessert. I will toss it down to the badger.
And it just shreds it, feathers and everything everywhere. And it's going to town. It's hungry. Apparently, it hasn't eaten well in the last couple days because its owner just cut it loose and didn't.
Can you go back home?
This is perfect, but I'll kind of stumble out the door. Badgers. Oh, we've got badgers.
Do I hear this when he's screaming?
Oh yeah, he's not being subtle about it. He's yelling it down the stairs. You're hearing something about badgers.
Immediately, I perk up and I'm like,
God,
"What?
the gore, feathers everywhere."
Oh, Reggie's back.
Reggie!" And I run out, like I tear up for the stairs.
Reggie actually like scampers down the hall with a chicken in its mouth, like dragging chunks.
Reggie! Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I completely am choosing to ignore the dead chicken. Ignoring that.
I think he needed that more than I did.
Oh, buddy, I missed you. Is that where you've been hiding? Oh.
Apparently. Well, you'll have to ask the badger sometime what happened.
Oh. This is Reggie. Reggie, this is Vale. I'm sure you were hiding in his room because it's not been used. Am I right?
The door was actually kind of stuck. I had to force it open.
Good job, Reggie. Self-defense. I like it. You're preparing your room. You're making sure you're safe.
Look, there are feathers everywhere in there.
Percha, you heard
that's just
the most god-awful sound about badgers and then scampering and people talking outside your door.
I go to the door of my room and I open it and I yell, "Has somebody gotten rid of that badger finally?"
There is feathers all over the hallway. There is, Lucy and Vale talking in the hallway, just across, because apparently your room's right across from Vale's. And there is a badger shaking what's left of a chicken's body and gnawing in chunks of it.
Reggie, it's the greatest thing. Reggie's home.
I just sort of stare at all of this and go, "Great."
It scampers down by Luciano's room and just sits waiting for the door to open with its chicken chunks.
Oh,
that
good
it's still
job, buddy.
devouring.
I'm gonna go down there and just let him in. All right, buddy. Go finish.
Is there anyone here who can decode magic writing, or is now a bad time?
Code magic. Writing can be magical?
Like Arcana related?
Yeah, I can't read it, and it's pretty clearly magic. That's all I can tell you.
I'll pop my head out too. It's like, I know a thing or two about magic devices and stuff like that, but I'm not sure about decoding things. I can give it a try too.
Well, you're welcome to take a look.
Carlo, 2 heads better than 1? Wanna crack this book open?
Let's crack it. Oh God, I'm so sorry about your chicken. Oh, Jesus.
But Reggie's
Everywhere.
back, Garlo.
Reggie was gone?
Well, he's been around, I'm sure.
So much neglect.
Are the restraints still on the chicken?
What's that?
You said you restrained the chicken. Is there any evidence of that?
Nope.
Okay, alright.
Oh, there's feathers everywhere. Not a lot of blood. That's weird. But
Well, actually, Gherkin was going to come up. I've got to clean up. I heard about the chicken, and I've got to clean up all the mess and feathers and blood is going to be everywhere. And oh, jeez, look at all these feathers. I got to sweep this up.
it might make a good pillow.
I'm gonna have to mop too, probably.
Gherkin, don't clean that up. Let whoever did it clean it up. Lucy,
Reggie,
fix
go
up your
clean it up.
badger.
Reggie, go clean it up, buddy.
Gentle parenting the badger.
No,
Learned his lesson.
I've got it. What is it? Badger saliva? Oh, gross. He runs down, grabs stuff out of a closet, comes back with a mop, bucket, broom, dustpan, begins sweeping.
Fortunately, the ritual consumed most of the blood. It's just the badger got the chicken at the end.
The carcass.
I mean,
So,
Sorry your studying isn't going to be able to happen now.
When
know.
Bill says that the ritual consumed most of the blood, does this twitch anyone's antennae as to what sort of ritual consumes blood?
oh, he told us he does blood magic.
Yeah. Hey, do you know how to read magic? Is that real?
Why are we answering questions about Terja's boyfriend from Terja?
Honestly, yeah.
Boyfriend?
Terja.
What?
Garlo jumps like, God, right, you're so
They're
Everyone
probably
is
just not
now
having
up
it
in
up
the stairway having a conversation now together. This is great.
Just-
Okay.
Not a lot of
So-
time for conversations, I'm sure. If it's a lot
Where
of
do you
talking.
wish to go translate this book, or attempt to?
Well, probably not anywhere in public because I'm not supposed to have it.
I mean, like, are you going to do it in the hallway, or in Turge's room, or in someone
In
else's
Turge's room, yes.
Okay, so you guys, you drag these two of the gentlemen in there. Everybody else is standing in the doorway, intently watching, because that's what we're doing now. Which is kind of cool. So as you gather around and set yourselves up, make an Arcana check.
Can I
Who's
give
doing
the-
it? First
I
of
was
all,
gonna
do
say,
you
can I
have
give the
proficiency in Arcana, Garlo?
So it's a weird little caveat. I don't have it expressly, but I have Artificer's Lore, which gives me expertise in history checks about magical items, alchemical objects, and technology. So it gives me expertise in, clockwork and everything.
Okay, then in your case, I'll let you make a history check. However, with the understanding that the DC will be extremely high in your case because the Water Clock Guild hides most of its knowledge.
I was just going to say, could I give the help action instead of making a roll? So I'm just noticing things and how clockwork works.
Do you have proficiency in Arcana Veil?
I do, and history.
Okay. Then yes,
I'm
I
a
will let
trained
you give the
librarian.
help action, Garlo.
All right.
Roll
Rolling
advantage.
Arcana with advantage, which I
Ooh.
need.
Well,
Well,
that was a
thank God.
2. Let's hope you do better on that. 14.
And then I add +4 due to the blood magic, in air quotes.
Ooh.
But none of you guys
Yo.
know that, so y'all take your ooze and keep
Sure.
quiet. So,
And
We're
18.
going out of character.
all right. So 18. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that changes the dynamics because a 14 versus 18 is a different answer. With an 18, you're able to decipher some more on those magic circles, and that you know that there are 2 circles actually involved. There is the summoning circle, and then surrounding the summoning circle, there is the binding circle. From there are additional magics that you can't quite understand, but you definitely recognize the symbols of some of the summoning. And in your case, Vale, you do recognize that some of those symbols are of a elemental nature. You don't. Do you know how to? Let me check your languages here real quick.
No primordial. I do speak infernal though.
I do too. Can we speak Infernal together?
Yeah,
you
I'd
sure
love to.
can, but not right now. So the
best friends.
gist of it is you do recognize the language as infernal. I mean, not as infernal, excuse me, as primordial, but you don't speak a lick of it. Like, you recognize that it's primordial. You've seen some things in some of your past readings, and even one book on, mysteries of the elements that you had to retrieve back for Candlekeep a long time ago.
Yeah.
But that being said, it is curious, right? Some of the symbols make sense, some of them don't to you. You also notice that there are star charts in there. At first, to Turja, it just looked like a bunch of charts about, points and maybe like a point chart of averages, but it wasn't. It's actually star charts. But there are several sets, some of which you've never seen before. They make no sense. And some of which do make sense. They're obviously of Faerun and Toril, the world itself. So you see things about moon directions and impacts to tides. You see things about seasons and how those things are measured, and so on. So you're getting a lot of just, this is how we measure days of the year. This is how leap year works, or shield meet works for that once every 4 years thing. And then the final piece that you get is that that they also bind and use these things in other things besides clocks. Ooh. But it doesn't say too much more that you can understand in that. But they can be used for other things besides clocks.
Okay. As I'm making these little discoveries, I'm doing like a kind of a footnote side sheet, and I'll give a copy to Turja. How many pages are there in this book entirely? Like, is it a kind of a thinner book, or? No,
this is a thicker book. This may be a 1,000-page book.
Oof.
Double-sided.
Okay.
Single space.
Small font.
Yeah.
Oof.
Lots
Lucy's
of
out.
lines.
Oh, he's back in.
Okay. I'm just going to make copies of some of the key chapters there, like the important pages. Maybe the summoning and binding circles.
Okay. You make
And
those.
I've got a cantrip scribe that allows me to like magically copy that essentially instantly just by holding a piece of paper up to it.
Did
you
you
have
mention
paper?
that there was stuff in Primordial that you recognized I couldn't read?
Yes.
Okay.
All annotated, including the page numbers.
Okay.
Very professional.
Heard.
Because maybe
it's
we can
literally-
take passages of the Primordial and take it to like the library and find someone who can translate it to pieces. We can't take the whole book, obviously. We're not.
Is she saying this out loud? Because I'm gonna be like, you do not want to go to the library. Libraries are a bad place.
What's wrong with the library?
I looked to Vale. Like, he hasn't told you? Your boyfriend hasn't told you about how the blood shit that goes on in the library?
The competition is out of this world.
For the last time, stop calling him my boyfriend.
Make little kissy noises.
I whack him on the arm.
Ah!
There's and Vale sitting in a tree.
And with that, you have the information that you've got.
Okay.
Has anything changed for any of you?
I mean, sorry I couldn't be more help. I kind of have an understanding with Gizmo and gadgetry, but it's a bit, bit out of my pay.
That was definitely helpful. Thank you, Garla. I was going down the wrong path to start with there.
And with that, you guys are now able to make decisions as to what you're going to do next. You've got a few decisions in front of you, like, are you going to go try to crack open that vault? Or are you guys going to do something else entirely? You've got your lanterns. And if you're going to go crack out that vault, are you going to gear up? Are you going to go incognito? And then you've also wanted to go see the Priest of Kelemvor as well.
I'd also visit Cynthia.
Cynthia?
Yeah, did our Paltron make his announcements or anything? We sent our guy over to talk to Cynthia Blackwell. Did he have a response to it for us?
Well, she didn't respond when we dropped the note off. One of her servants took it, and I waited for an hour in the rain, and then I collected come back later. They said that she had not yet seen the message and she was still in her garden.
Good man. And I slapped him on the back and I rode in my room to see Reggie.
And you slap him on the back, your hand comes back wet. He is still dripping.
Hey, don't worry.
And
That's
standing
what
by the
Terry's for.
fire trying to dry himself out.
I mean, if you stop by later, make sure, I'd like to... It seemed important, so if you need to borrow an umbrella, check again this afternoon, that'd be appreciated.
I will check again, sir, but I also want to give time for an answer to actually bubble to the top here, if you will. It's
You don't
just
want
one
us
of
to
those
seem
rough
desperate?
moments. It didn't strike me that they were rushed, so.
Alright. Yeah, so I think just, gather people together and, like, high style lay it out on the kitchen table. Like, what are we thinking?
Yeah.
We have a giant table in the living room.
Yep.
I'll bring the string.
Good.
Dim the
All right.
lights.
And the lights start
Dim the
roll
lights,
out
throw
a-
on the hooded lanterns to like beam the table up. Okay. So
Sitting
you guys
there.
start throwing your plan together on the table. What's your plan?
I grab a white tablecloth and start drawing on it. Don't worry.
At least he's not using chicken's blood.
Did
This
you have
time.
anything you wanted to ask Gherkin? I think you mentioned something you wanted to ask him about a location to pick things up.
Oh, you're talking about paper. Not yet. So I was just going to check on Reggie real quick, just to be like, Reggie, you good? And, like he was in the room. Like, okay,
There's just feathers all over your floor. And
that's fine. I just want to make sure he's still good. All right, bud. We'll go downstairs, okay? All right. Hang tight. You can wander around. I'll leave the door open for you. I'm sure Gherkin won't mind. And all right, bud. Enjoy. And I'm gonna go downstairs.
Okay.
What I missed, guys? Oh. Gherkin, thanks by the way for those feathers. I appreciate you picking those up.
yeah, great.
By the way, I'm looking for some paper. I was told by Ren you might know where I can get some specialty parchment.
How special a parchment you looking for?
Like the kind that's probably issued out to people like once in their life for identification purpose.
Well, in this town, you want to go to the Red Vellum. Paper, bindery, tools, and document supplies. Some on the sly, some not on the sly. Grickery Stone Shield owns it, along with the Ruby Rock next door, the jeweler.
Hey. And I thanks. I appreciate you. I'll make bean juice tomorrow for you, buddy.
Yeah, it's on the north side of town, not too far from the House of a Thousand Faces. Make sure you mention that you're a friend of Ren.
Okay. I appreciate the tip.
3 times at the door before you enter.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Very
I'm
important
like
you
very
do that.
confused. Like, okay.
Before you enter, even if the door is open, and before you mention you're a friend of Ren's.
Yep.
Right. Good show.
Yeah, and I'm just like very confused by that part because I'm just like, what? Okay, 3 times, cool. Sorry guys, what are we doing? And I'm just like looking. What is this? What are we doing?
I mean, it's time to get down to business, I think.
I will
Okay.
press if you tell me what direction to go, and I'll do it, dang it. Or
Okay,
I'll
so-
find something to do.
What I'm going to do
Right.
is I'm going to let you guys talk for a minute, or for a little bit. You guys come up with whatever plan you want. I'm going to listen, but I'm going to grab something to help me do the next part I need to do. So keep going. Go ahead. I'm listening to everything you say.
Cool.
Going to the whiskey cabinet. Okay.
I'm gonna say, yeah.
So where do we start?
So we have our inn. We know where the clock or the mechanisms are, and we're supposed to pour water in them. But I mean, maybe we just need to curve some rain into it right now.
Well, that's a good idea.
Probably still a good idea to actually bring water with us.
And then as far as what is after that, we have what kind of stuff did we get out of the book, Terja? Did it list layouts at all of anything like that?
It mentioned that you have to either, based on what I read, I think you have to either solve a riddle or solve an equation to figure out where to go on the other side of the plane in order to find the 3 items that you need to do once you're on the other side. And also, it said there are 2 circles involved. So one's for summoning and one's for binding. It also mentioned that there are elementals. There are things that you activate by There are items that on this side you activate by introducing the elemental and deactivate by taking the elemental away, and then on the other side it works the other way around. So I suspect we're going to have to somehow take the element away in order to unlock something, and then put it back to lock it again. That's what I got. I also have these pages in Primordial that Belle was able to copy for me, but we can't read it. I was thinking maybe go to the library before we actually try to do anything and get that translated and see what else we can glean from that, because this gives us a lot of ideas on how things could work, but it's not definitive.
Does anyone here speak Primordial?
Unfortunately, I don't, but it might not be a bad idea if one was available. Some type of token that would let us speak Primordial. I bet it could be useful for the heist.
Oh, maybe, yes, there might be some writing on the other side in Primordial, so if we could find a way to... That won't be cheap, though.
Reed, just to be clear here, Primordial is the 4 elemental languages, correct?
There are subsets within that.
But I took it as essentially like how there's like British English and then
It's
there's
like Latin
American English
versus Italian versus French versus Spanish.
So there's root words, but it's all kind of nuance.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Just to
Is
be
there
clear
more
here,
than one variety of Primordial in this thing? Can we even tell?
You don't know.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
yeah, you'd have to speak at least one of the other languages, but realistically speaking, no, I don't speak Church Latin. Just being clear here.
You know the prayers, right?
No, enough to mumble along.
Yeah.
Dominic eats biscuits.
I get it.
Or
Okay. So we know
Or
how to
some
get
way-
in. We have a book with stuff we don't know. This all sounds very promising. So go in and we hide.
Okay.
Plan.
So you mentioned something about getting a token, but we could get a scroll, right? Is there a place in town that sells scrolls?
I know a place that sells all sorts of documents.
But
I've been
you're
meaning to
talking
check
about
it
like
out.
a magic scroll, right, Garlo?
I mean, if there's
spell?
something that magically lets you talk in a different language, or
You
understand it.
might be able to get something at Lee Fing's or down in the market.
I ask, yeah, I assume we didn't include Daltrodden in our planning.
Deliberation.
Daltodden is not there. You have sent him on his way.
So, yeah, I guess we'll go do just a quick look to see if we can get something like that. If not, then we could go to the library. And then, I mean,
I look
probably
terrified.
the sooner the library. We'll make Vale do it. So it seems like, though, the sooner we do this, the better, as far as, someone might come looking around for their books.
Yes, the sooner we do it, the better.
if you have enough paper, if you got 1,000 pages there, I could just make a copy of that real quick, and you could do whatever you want with the original then.
You need 1,000?
Well, however many pages are in the book.
But what about the parts that we can't even read?
I mean, you could
It
still
doesn't
copy
matter.
it.
I don't
Yeah.
need to read it. I can just copy it.
But it's magically encoded, like we can't even see it clearly.
You know the Xerox spell? Oh my god.
It goes, yeah.
So, I mean, sure. If Lucy's gonna go buy paper anyway.
I mean, I have a bunch
go
on me, and I pull out 100 sheets of parchment.
Good start.
Not enough. You're gonna need
What?
1,000 sheets.
Why do you have 100 sheets of parchment?
I write a lot of things down. Don't
I
worry
pull
about
out
it.
like 50 sheets. You don't have at least 50 sheets on you?
And I pull out 50 sheets of just paper.
Just understand that each sheet of paper is 2 silver. Like, they're not cheap. Paper is a big deal. Books are a big deal.
I have a lot of it.
All right. So if we go look around a little bit, see what we can find out, and then do you guys want to try this afternoon? Go and open the doors, or you want to try this evening, trying to sneak in, cover of the storm and the night sort of thing?
I think night would be safer. We might have to be there sometime. Although maybe sneak in the late afternoon and then stay there when they close for the night. Maybe that way it'll be easier to get in without being caught.
We could hide in that equipment ship.
Yeah.
I think that's a good idea. Or something similar.
So then Lucy needs to buy paper. We need to find a scroll of talking different languages, or something that lets us talk different languages. And then we need to go talk to the priests, right, Rafe?
They did say they may have more information.
And look, I was getting a real funny feeling about that when they reported into. Like maybe they'd been spending too much time around Lucy, you know what I mean?
No, can you explain?
What? Huh?
Just scoot a little ways from Lucy. Like, wait, what's going on?
Sorry. Charming. Very, very charming.
Oh, thank you.
Hear that? That's a compliment.
Oh my god. I'm blushing. Oh my god. What's wrong with that?
I think I don't know. It seemed like their mind may have been messed with.
Do we want
Just
to
a gut
split
feeling.
up? And do we want to split up and try these real quick, and then come back and head to the graveyard together?
Sure.
I think that's a good idea. I want to go to the library of Agma to see if anyone can translate this primordial.
I'm not going to the library. I'm just
We've
not.
got we've got scroll buying and paper buying, essentially. Talking to priests and translation. So we got three avenues. Who's splitting where?
Fine paper.
Okay.
I'll go with Lucy.
Georgia? Be with you?
Alright.
I elbow Sim.
Okay, so
And-
just to make sure
And
I'm
of course,
tracking.
yes, Team Short Tall are going to visit the priests.
Yeah.
Team who?
Oh,
Short, tall.
Team Short Tall
That is who? Rafe and
and
Garlo?
Garlo.
who else?
Okay.
Oh, wait, the
And-
Kellenbor?
Yes.
You guys are doing the priest.
Okay. And what's the other team?
Yeah, what are your guys' names?
We got this. We're really good at names.
Luciano and who?
Luciano and Sim.
Okay. Luciano and Sim are going to the Red Vellum.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you guys also want to do the buying of the scroll, or looking into that one?
I think so. We could probably
We can
tackle
take it.
both.
Yeah.
Okay. And Turgid Vale.
Sure.
Library.
Okay.
Nerds! Sorry.
Okay.
I like.
And with that, we will be going on a short break, and when we come back, we're going to find out what happens as the party splits up in the city of Neverwinter.
Which is Reed's favorite activity when we all split up on him.
The only thing that could
We're
be
gonna-
better is if Garlo goes shopping. So. Are we clear? No? Well, let's start. Hey guys, welcome back to Whiskey Magic Instruction. Let's start with the announcements, and then we'll go to our questions for the evening, and then we'll kick back off.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get a free Prime gaming subscription. So show your support to the show, cast, and crew, and hit that link in chat. Prime gaming subscribers get access to sub-only emotes and to a special subscriber-only channel in the TGT Discord. I think I just hit 19 months doing that.
Oh.
Rob?
Yeah. Streamloots is live at the Games Tavern. If you are not Payron24, you can follow the link in chat to get your Games Tavern packs.
Whoa,
There are a
Payron,
bunch
you
of-
can do it too.
There are a bunch of cards that can be utilized to help out the game master, and I don't know, maybe the party too. I'm not sure. It's not clear anymore. That language has been removed. But there are other cards that are also great, like Biscuit's card, because who doesn't love an awesome dog?
Hashtag biscuit best boy.
Honestly.
Correct. Yeah. So please check those out. If you feel like supporting the Games Tavern, what we're doing, they are available and they do let you kind of affect the outcome of the game. So
Well, I get the opportunity to talk to you about our phenomenal sponsor, Shard Tabletop. Thank you so much for sponsoring us. If you are in the market for a cool virtual tabletop to play on, let me tell you a little bit about Shard. All right. It's got dice rolling. Got character sheets, it's got character builders, level up guides, spells. Everything is built in, very easy to use. And if you're like me and you don't know what you're doing, it makes it super simple. One place, one-stop shop. It's amazing. You can get everything you need to play all of your 5th edition games right here at Shard Tabletop. And we love it so much that it is our official virtual tabletop here at the Games Tavern. So do yourself a favor, follow that link in chat using !Shard. And go pick yourself up something amazing. And, because we love you, you can get 20% off all those subscriptions that you purchase on Shard using code TGTShard20. That is 20% off all of your subscriptions using code TGTShard20. So go do that now and, make your life a little easier the next time you play any 5th edition game.
I love that you just called yourself out for not knowing what the heck you're doing, which is
I have no idea.
Which is so not true, but at the same time fun to watch you actually make true one way or another. And then we had some questions. I think one question was, is a notepad and paper useful in this game? And the answer is absolutely yes.
Oh.
But the other one was, who in the party is the
Brandon?
unluckiest member of the party? And I'll let you guys fight for it.
It's unlucky.
See, I think the dice would be one thing, saying like who has like statistically bad rolls, and all I can remember is the early episodes and Sim just missing so much on goblins.
I miss a lot. I fall a lot. I've been unconscious 3 different times.
Yeah.
You nearly got taken away by that bounty hunter.
It might be me.
The giant, the bounty hunter. Yeah. I think I would have to give it to Sim.
I'd say, I mean, there's probably equal footing, because like the rest of us got to be lazy in jail for that stretch of time, and Lucy had to get a job.
That's true.
Lucy had to work a 9 to 5 while we just sat in prison for a bit.
That had to be so terrible.
Just like had to do the inner office politics and everything.
No, he hasn't had a job before, so it was definitely hard.
Had to sign that birthday card for Gail.
Ugh.
Gail.
Miserable.
Hi, donuts.
Oh yeah, that was fun though.
Okay.
I think you have a question.
Oh, we just had another question drop. So we'll answer this question and we'll get started one more time. So if your character were to suddenly be transported to modern day, what's the one thing that would utterly amaze them besides everything?
Roman aqueducts.
Roman aqueducts. Okay. Yeah.
Not
Very-
indoor plumbing.
Indoor
Nope.
plumbing. Yeah.
That's
The,
Faerun has indoor plumbing.
Mhm.
Roman aqueducts are just crazy.
Yeah.
You ever want to like go down a deep Wikipedia hole? Roman aqueducts.
Okay.
No one does, man.
Oh.
Internet,
did.
freedom of information,
Yeah.
the written word everywhere.
Computerized record keeping. Being able to keep accounts on digital media and have automatically everything add up for you.
This magically holds the files in the computer.
Yeah.
What that floppy disk is?
And you don't need to do all the math yourself. The computer will do it for you.
I'm gonna say a two-parter with the microwave and cup of noodle. Just having hot food in a matter of seconds in this magic box.
Infomercials, specifically like the 1 a.m., 2 a.m. late night TV. Would love that.
You would actually be the character that would be up that late drinking when that happens.
Late drunk snacks, Taco Bell, infomercials. Yes, and just fascinated by all the options.
I don't know. I think it'd be very easy for him to just like cop out answer is just the internet being like, wait, this exists. I can find literally anything I want, music, film, like just random person's rants just at my fingertips. I think the internet would just blow his mind of too much. Just the person who he'd be the kind of person who scrolls on TikTok for like 24 hours straight. Like he would just like not know how to get off the internet.
Josh, anything?
Oh, he said internet.
Yeah, I was just copied. That's okay though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But not for information. I just
as-
want to make that clear.
If my character was to arrive in modern day, it would probably be marveling that they've somehow found a way to corral people to actually sit in a cubicle all day and work.
Oh.
Like, you found a way to make them play cubicles and corruption?
And you don't have to pay them gold?
Yes. You pay
Just
them
this
with
green
paper. Paper. And I thought I was a wizard as the dungeon master. So, all right. So back to the game. The party has geared up. I'm assuming you geared up.
Yes,
Armor
indeed.
on, everything on,
Well,
right?
Oh,
no.
No.
I think
we're just
because
running
we're gonna
errands?
meet back.
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
we're
No,
just
no,
going
I don't know what
shopping.
you're doing. Are you just running errands, or are you?
You never
running
know what'll
errands and
happen on those
meeting-
errands.
oh
Okay.
gosh.
So as you step outside, the rain is pouring. Welcome to the city, folks. People are out, but there's a lot less of them out scurrying around as the rain has now been coming down for days. The clouds are light gray with the sun coming in, but there is a overcast day nonetheless. As you step out onto the streets, the cobblestone streets, you smell the fresh rain. The thunder is still rolling in the distance. Team Rafe and Garlo head south across the bridge. Team Lucci and Sim move to the north, to an area not in the Blue Lake district per se, but just on the edge of it, where there are two shops adjacent to each other. And Lucy and Sim do that. Turja and Vale go south across the bridge with Rafe and Garlo, but break off as they make their way to the library. Streets are full of mostly playing children today. There are some shops, and you do hear some stuff from the town crier about the market has a lot of visiting people because the first of the 10-day is the next day. Starting the next 3 days of the first 10 day of the month starts in tomorrow, starting the next 3 days of a big shopping festival event in the marketplace. Woo woo. With that, you also hear a few more things about, House of a Thousand Faces has cocktail deals tonight, as well as dancing this evening. Water Clock Guilds declares today a holiday, and will be closed. All Water Clock Guild members will close shop today. There is some discussions on making sure you keep your dogs and cats and other pets like pigs inside the walls of your home, please do not just cut them loose. There is also discussions of calling out any strange sightings throughout the city. If you see something, say something, because people have begun reporting some odd things happening, like some very strange looking dogs that seem to be, still moving after they're dead. Children knocking on their parents' doors after they were, dead the day before of some kind of sickness, and other weirdness throughout the city. All unverified, of course, but enough that it has the city watch and the city guard on edge. And of course, hold on, I'll find the announcement. There is a ship that is still looking for people to go work on the ship for its trip. So be sure and check it out when you can. Splitting off, we get to Sim and Lucy immediately get to their area first, just as you guys are crossing the bridge. The bell rings, ding ding, as you...
Wait,
excuse me, it does not ring.
I was going to say, is this the Red Vellum?
Standing outside,
Yeah.
you see on the left is a place called the Red Ruby. Or excuse me, is it the Red Ruby? It's the Ruby Rock. The Ruby Rock. The Jewelers, and to the right, Red Vellum, paper bindery tools for the discerning documenter and cartographer.
Is this your guy?
I turned this. Yeah. Hold on.
Sure,
He said to
sure.
do something. Okay, I got it. And I walk up to the Red Vellum, and I did a knock. So I knock 3 times. I'm like,
Talk.
yeah.
Okay.
Hello. And I just kind of. Door open.
The door opens. Inside, you see a warm, dry, and cheery space. In the distance, you do see a small fireplace with a large iron grate in front of it to prevent it from setting all of the paper in the place on fire. But it warms the place nicely. From within, there are shelves upon shelves, glass frontages across each and every one of them, with various different papers of colors, styles, weights, textures. And in addition to parchment, papyrus, there are other types of papers, and there is vellum as well.
Yano is a kid loves. He's like a stationary fanatic.
There is a large countertop, but the countertop isn't necessarily to hide behind, but it's to show off the various different things. And then there is another large glass walled area that has a variety of different tools, implements, and other supplies. From within, a small dwarvish lady comes around. Yes, sir.
My good friend Ren sent me. And I kind of look at Cimarine.
The eyebrow raises a bit. Absolutely, sir. And
Exhale.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
if what can I do to help you, friend of Ren?
I'm looking for some parchment, paper of any kind, really, of a lot of different kinds. There's a few things I'm trying to create. I was told you might have some more obscure type of documents, maybe identification paperwork or type of...
Well, we certainly can help you with some of that. Is there a particular documentation you're trying to mimic, or you just want a general?
Just general birth certificates or any type of identification paperwork.
From which city-state?
I would love some from everyone. I do not have one for.
Oh, local
Neverwinter.
variety.
But if you
Please
have
come
any
over
for
this way to the
nearby
counter,
areas.
sir. Please come
Yeah.
over to the counter, sir. So you're looking for gray heavyweight stock.
Sure. Yep.
This would be the harder variety. It's not cheap. It's 5 silver per page just for the page. We are actually the supplier, if you will,
Ooh.
of the city itself. Which is why when they're looking for whoever's got the paper, they always find us and never think the wiser. Now,
Of course.
and I'm sure as a friend of Ren that you understand discretion is absolutely important here.
I looked at Sam and I'm like, yes. Yeah, we are the most discreet.
Hmm. And I'm assuming that you want to have the proper seals and waxes and ribbons to go with that as well?
Anything that's specific to the area, yes. I have general stamp signatures, all sorts of. I can make a few things, but if there's anything specific, seals otherwise that need to be on here, I would love those. Yes.
You're going to need the seal of Neverwinter to say
Got
the
it.
least. And then probably either one of the notary seals or the mayor's seal. Which would you prefer?
I'd prefer the notary seal.
Okay, well that's less expensive at 15 gold.
Okay.
We can have a copy made of one of the notaries, no problem.
Okay, and the seal of Neverwinter, how much was that for?
Oh, that's only 5 gold.
Deal. Okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. So I'm actually probably interested in a couple pages of the heavyweight stock. I'd say like 5, if we could, and then I'll take.
8 silver apiece. So
Perfect.
5, that's about, what's it, 4 gold?
Okay.
Hmm.
Fantastic.
Now, really quickly, the wax you're going to need is only used here in Neverwinter. It's specially made just for Neverwinter.
Okay.
It is blue. It matches the shield color. And then you're going to need an ink to stamp into your seal, because what they do is they actually stamp a silver ink into the blue to make the seal pop that much more.
Gotcha.
It's a little extra fancy, but it does the trick. To do that, you're actually going to need a silver ink, if you will. It's made with actual metal silver built in. That's going to be 30 gold, just for a small wick of it. The wax itself is, in this case, 30 gold for a stick, which will let you do about 5 pages.
Okay.
If you're careful.
Okay.
Would you like them pre-lined for birth certificates?
Actually, yes, I would love that. That would be a huge help.
That'll be an additional 20 gold.
Done. Anything that's less work for me,
No.
I will spend the money.
Sam's like looking in horror. Like you're not even gonna haggle. You're not.
I don't haggle with the documents guy.
Absolutely.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Absolutely.
This guy, I need this.
Oh God. Okay.
She begins setting up stuff on the countertop. I'm presuming you have a container for all of this.
Yeah. I'll pull out. I have a documents, a folder for most of the paper because I. But as far as the ink and stuff, I don't have like a. No, I have a supply. Yeah. I have a toolkit. Like a first. Yeah, I have a.
Well, it comes with an inkwell vial.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is there any other supplies that I can get you?
So we were actually looking for maybe some magical type of documents, pre-written, of course. Scrolls, books, something that might have
Magical in what way? Like
never
unreadable to the reader?
No. More like so you can read stuff. We have something that we need to read that we can't read, and my friends seem to think that there might be something we could acquire to comprehend what we are looking at.
Well, I mean, if you bought it from us, it would be either illusionary script or comprehend languages.
I looked at Sam like, do you know what Like really quick. Talking about?
But either of those things from us would be, to be fair, very exorbitant. But perhaps you should check into one of the wizards in town. Perhaps they can write you up a scroll for less. Or Lee Fings. I understand he does a variety of brisk, low-level scroll business.
Okay. Just if you had a number so we had something to compare it to.
Scroll. Well, it depends on what's on the scroll. But for comprehend languages, it's, I want to say about 50 gold.
Oh my god. Why is magic so expensive?
Yeah, wait, I just do this myself. Okay. Very
Well, making it so that anyone can read it is a very expensive
yeah.
proposition.
Wouldn't even thought. I learn something new about magic every day. Well, if you want to just wrap up the supplies, I think what we kind of agreed on was about at 4, 9, 24, 44, 104 gold squared up.
Just to mention this, there's also the 10% convenience fee.
Doesn't seem very convenient to me.
I can put this all back.
Oh, it's fine.
I want to try. I want to try and help my friend. To
Yes.
persuade it down, right?
Okay, so how do you attempt to make that, interject into that conversation to do that?
I just also want to point out, for the most part, Sim has been kid at Home Depot this entire time.
Yeah.
Kind of looking at paper, not super engaged in the conversation. But hearing others possibly similar here, at least on Lucy's behalf. Just, I'm not disagreeing with the convenience price. I think that's totally fair. Is there perhaps a bulk discount we can get, or we would like to come back and give you more money in the future? And if we have more money to give you in the future, that would make it easier.
Oh, trust me, I will definitely be making more stops. I will be needing more.
Well, Ren stops in every time he's in town. So obviously you're friends of his.
Good
It's like
friends.
this. The Red Vellum specializes in hard-to-make documentation, cartography, and other supplies, including those that should not be just out in the general public. Now, that being said, discretion matters, but we don't like any other kind of business but word of mouth and from the most discreet of individuals. Now, that being said, such things come with a cost. We have to cover our asses every time someone screws up out there. Now, how much would you think that we should lower our prices to give less security for any of those things?
It's a blank face. I don't do business for a reason. I'm just saying, I think this is expensive, and I think you're possibly taking us for a ride, and that you're asking for more than 100% necessary.
I see. Well, I
I don't blame you. I think that's what you should do as a business person. We're just trying to have a back and forth. You can tell us no, and that's fine. Well, you have the power in this. Worst thing you can say is no.
Make a persuasion check.
Sick.
You got this. You got this.
18.
Yes. I was gonna say.
Oh, and actually, it's going to be a 20, a dirty 20, because I could add my wisdom modifier to it.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, you're first-time customers, and you do come highly recommended from one of our very best customers. I will make an exception. Only this once. If you find that the quality is exactly as we say, and you come back, and you will. Understand there will be a 10% convenience fee.
I think that's totally acceptable.
Fantastic. Yes.
104 gold, please.
I hand over 104 gold for these items.
She counts it out. She slides it into a bag that then gets put away somewhere you don't see. Your stuff is bagged up and slid over to you. And at that point, you see her go deet, 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 and press 3 runes that were in the counter the whole time. And you hear clack, clack. The front door has unlocked.
Oh, if I could, I had one more purchase to make. If I
Hold on
it was
one moment. What is the purchase?
this was going to be on a separate dime. We have a separate account with WMD, so I was hoping to use that fund. This was personal, so dip into the company funds, you know.
Your writ? Who has the writ?
I assume Ray probably has it if I had to guess.
I mean, I think it's likely if we knew they were going shopping, we would let them have a writ.
There's no way you would have gone shopping without the writ.
I was going to say,
however,
okay, fantastic.
comma, there's no way Rafe would have given it to Simmer.
So you have the writ.
So if I'm just kind of like, I think that's the thing that he gave me.
Crumpled in a pocket.
And I just like put it on the counter, flatten it out. Yeah.
Oh, WMD. So I assume this is in the open.
Oh yes. This is very plain. Do you just have paper? What's your price on bulk paper?
2 silver pieces per page. It's standard weight.
Okay, so say, for example, I'm not saying I do, but say I wanted like 1,000 pages. How much would that go? How much would the conversion be? And could I still get the note 10%?
2,000 silver, 200 gold.
Well, that's so the 10% is not for
the business. Perfect.
Purchases.
Gotcha. That's just because of the meat. Yeah.
It's because of the stuff you're buying. It's
yeah.
illicit,
No, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So for that, it's at 2 silver pieces for 1,000. That would be 200 gold.
I turned to Sim. How much was on that writ? It was only like 500, right?
That's what my memory is. We haven't used any of it yet. You're fine.
They won't care. Yeah, I'll take it.
Great. Let me see your writ.
Yep. Nope. I put it on the. Like I said, flatten it out, slide it over.
She takes another piece of paper out, a little thin strip, writes down some information from the writ. If I could just get your signature below this information, and
I'm gonna. Do I know Vale's last name?
Nope. Doing something that's going to piss off the fence of Ren is
probably
no. I just not the fence, but
You're going to sign someone else's
supplier to
name
Ren for some things is probably not in your best interests. I'm just going to give you that wisdom check right there.
Sign the Badger's name.
That's true. Yeah, Reggie. Well, he is WMD. No, I'll sign it. I signed my name to the parchment.
Excellent. And if I could just get your thumbprint right here, and you see her pouring some wax, melting over it right there. Just thumbprint right there for me.
I'm just kind of like, this is a little, like, I'm like, ooh.
Please hurry up before it cools.
Okay.
It hurts a little, but not enough to matter. Thank you very much. Excellent. And with that, we will be able to actually draw against that writ.
Fantastic.
Here's the mark right here on your writ. There. Now you can, it's coated on both sides. And my stamp right there. And she stamps the writ with the seal of the red vellum.
Cool. I appreciate your business. Thank you so much. We're going to go check out some of those other stores. Unless, Sim, did you need anything?
Oh, gods, no. Let's go.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Good luck. Oh, you do have a container for that 1,000 sheets of paper, right? I'd hate for it to get wet.
I didn't even think about it.
Just a bunch of boxes.
Just put it right here. She wraps it in waxed canvas, ties it on the house.
Thank you. And I wipe the bead of sweat. I'm like, I don't want another purchase.
Thank you. We really appreciate it.
You have been a delight.
I look forward to your successful business ventures.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so we get a scroll.
Yep.
Boom. You guys leave. With that, Turja and Vale make it to the library. Coming in dripping wet.
Indeed.
As you're in the library, you come into the main foyer of the House of Knowledge. The foyer is mostly dry. There is someone who is squeegeeing the marble floors everywhere they go, because of everybody coming in dripping wet. That being said, you do notice that there are 4 members, obviously of the Water Clock Guild, standing, discussing some stuff with the High Priest of Ogma directly.
Oh.
Including a member of the City Watch. They appear to be having quite the animated conversation. Some notes are being taken by a scribe. And where are you guys going as other priests and other researchers are moving back and around throughout the hall?
Well, we're definitely not asking for anything from that book to be translated right now. Whatever else we're doing, we're not doing that.
So, I'll kind of wheel us over to like an alcove, one of the stacks where it's a little bit quieter. You want this translated, right?
Not now. Look at that. They clearly know somebody's. They clearly know something.
Understood. But look, Reed, have I been to this library before?
You have not been to this particular library before.
Okay.
It's still a Temple of Ogma.
Okay.
But it's not one that you've had to visit before. This is actually your first time in Neverwinter.
Okay. Well, look, if it's some books on translation, I can get those here. If the knowledge is here, I can find it without necessarily going to them.
I
Tell me what you want.
I hand him the pages and say, if you can translate it without asking anyone about it, do it. Otherwise, we're just going to have to live without it.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I pull out this little coiled spring, which is the material focus for one of my few spells, and I cast Tireless on me, which is one of the expansion spells for deep magic, which grants me machine-like stamina. I can read it 3 times my normal speed. And as an archivist with the background, if I spend an hour here perusing the stacks, if the knowledge is here, I get a bonus in my roll. So
one thing you know, you're going to get a little more than that because you actually are a member of the Temple of Ogma as well. So one thing you know is that there is a research catalog. In the case of the House of Knowledge, there are several for each bank of areas. You go to the ones checking immediately for both language as well as for planar travel or knowledge of the planes themselves to gather what information you can. Make a investigation check with all of your bonuses. And that would be 5.
I rolled however, the archivist ability, if I roll less than that, it sets it at 10.
Okay. So you're automatically at a 10.
So 14.
14. Okay. So unfortunately, you do find some books on traveling the plains, but they're not really what you're looking for to translate anything. I mean, you do get one word, wet, as well as another word, moist, but that's not really what you're looking for. Plus, it's a creepy word. From there, you go to the language section. There are a few books more than a few books on almost every language you can imagine, including some you've obviously never heard of. You do find a few on Primordial. You spend 45 minutes attempting to translate some of this stuff. Where's the book now, by the way?
We didn't bring it with us. We only brought the Primordial.
I imagine it goes back in the bag. The bag.
Which bag?
Interdimensional space bag.
Which person is carrying which bag?
It'd be on Rafe's person.
Okay, so Rafe has the book. In the
and
back.
then they have the copy of the transcribing.
Oh, okay. All right. Very important to know. So as you're looking through the Primordial for Dummies guide, you guys, you're able to discern some things about a few more creatures there. There are, besides mephits, there's stuff called like a water weird, which are often used as guardians of various different portals or of objects placed in their midst. In addition to that, you learn about some vulnerabilities of the various different elementals. Water elementals don't like fire. Fire elementals don't like water. You get the idea, right? Air elementals don't like being trapped, so on. You do manage to also understand that some of what's written is still not making sense because some of it may be in Primordial, but it's also in some kind of a code. The words are not fitting correctly, or they don't mean what they should, theoretically. So there could be some double meanings here.
Understood.
The Water Clock Guild keeps its secrets tight as it possibly can.
Watertight.
Watertight. However, there are also some spells in here that you can't quite understand, but you do recognize them as spells. So possibly in the future, if you retain some stuff, you might be able to translate it.
Okay.
But you also find out one other thing. As you begin to translate stuff, it starts to disappear off the paper itself.
Ooh. What about notes that I make on what I've translated?
The notes stay, but the magically created stuff disappears.
Ooh, that is not normal. I wonder if they hired one of me to hunt down the book. Got somebody out. Torture, we should probably leave discreetly.
I nod and say, you go. I want to ask the priest about something else completely. Nothing to do with our job, something else. Don't worry about it.
All right, I'll be outside.
Okay, so you step outside into the rain. Turja steps into the main hall. There are several priests. Which one are you trying to talk to?
Well, the head priest looks pretty darn busy, but
He's no longer in the front hall. You don't see him, but you don't
Oh.
see any of the Water Clock Guild members either.
Okay. So I pull over one of the side. I go to one of the priests and I say, I'm sorry. I was wondering if I could talk to perhaps. I know this is an extraordinary request, but could I speak to the head priest briefly? It's a matter of some import. Somebody from one of the Waterdeep temples has, well, he's missing.
And you feel that the High Priest would know where he is?
Not necessarily, but I was hoping. Well, maybe you can help me. There's a symbol that the individual who went missing wears, and I was hoping you could maybe tell me what it means. I was hoping it might be some sort of clue as to not necessarily what happened, but help me learn anything I can learn.
Okay, can you give me some insight as to what you're talking about? Perhaps I can help someone point you in the right direction, as it will.
I take out a pen and a piece of parchment and some ink, and I draw the harp symbol that the Lord Protector of Tribor was wearing, that you told me that's Sahir wears too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. From there, you are able to discern a few things. They look at it. Curious. I think the person you're looking for would probably be under the heraldry section, and/or heraldry and historical factions, if you will. He takes you down. He introduces you to another gentleman. He shows the symbol. He smirks a little bit and he goes, Ah, yes. You saw someone wear this.
Somebody important who is now missing. I don't know what this has to do with it, but I'm looking at any aspect of his background that I can.
Very well, very well. Could you excuse us for a moment? And the other priest says, of course, and excuses himself. Please come with me. Have a seat at the table. And he sits you at a round table in between a whole bunch of other shelves. He pulls. He goes away. Says, "Just wait here for a moment." You see him go down the books for a little bit. You see him pull one out, look at it, slide it back in, pull one other. Comes over, flips open the book. And he goes, "Is this the symbol?"
Is it the symbol?
It's the symbol. It is the
I
symbol.
nod. And I say that
Okay.
looks about right. What is it?
Well, it's a marking, and you'll see sometimes you might see this symbol. It's also used sometimes as what's known as a trail symbol, a trail sigil, if you will. Adventuring companies use them. Various different factions, like the Zentarum, they use them too when they're marking their caravan routes, so on and so on. But this symbol represents the Harpers. The Harpers themselves are very interesting. They try to maintain balance, if you will, between the powers that be. And so if one particular group is becoming so powerful and unstable, they try to take actions behind the scenes to rectify it. Now, I won't say that they're always right, but they are certainly often in the right place at the right time to create disruption or other issues, good or bad. Whoever it is you're looking for is probably a member of that faction, in which case they are probably very secretive indeed.
So, would are there other factions? I mean, is that maybe why he was? Who is there anyone who doesn't like these Harpers?
Anyone who's in power, or especially of abusive power, has reason to fear any organization that might infiltrate and stop their ambitions.
Is there more information on the Harpers in this book? Can I borrow it?
No.
I'll come back in later and read it. The next day. But
That's not to say that you can't read it here, but I'll be honest. There isn't a lot that we can verify that's actually true. The Harpers hide their secrets well.
Well, it's very important I find this person, so I'll take any information I can get. I'll come back and read it later. I can't say now, but thank you so much for your help.
Absolutely. Please come back anytime. I'll be happy to help you with your research.
On the way out, I donate 5 gold to the temple. You have to pay up when you get good info.
You guys are just blowing that money, and I love it. I love it. All right.
Can't take money with you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And
Speaking of, I
step
still need to make an
outside
offering tomorrow later.
to a Vale who's standing just underneath one of the eaves and is not being rained on, who sees you come out. Vale, while you were standing there, you saw 2 other knights step in, and you saw 3 other knights step out. You, of course, greeted them, just
Indeed.
as they greeted you, knowingly.
Is that a lot in one place at one time? Like out of the ordinary, or given the size of the city?
You've seen more at Candlekeep for certain. You've definitely seen that occasionally at Waterdeep. It's not enough to make you panic, but it's enough to make you know, hey, this is definitely a sizable temple.
Okay.
Outside of a major city with a temple of Ogma of this size, it would be rare to see more than one, because they often operate alone, or if they operate with more than one person from Ogma, it's one knight and typically a couple other types of operatives.
Gotcha. Did you find what you needed? Can we go?
Yes, I think we found some information that will help. Let's go.
Stepping away.
As we go back to WMD, I sort of whisper to Val my explanation of what I was looking for with the harp and the Harpers.
I can get you a copy of that later if you need it. Just let me know.
I think just reading it will be fine. They said there wasn't a lot of very substantiated information in there. I want to take a look to see what I can find, but I don't think we'll need a copy.
So from there, Rafe and Garlo, you come to the rain-covered Temple of Kellenborg.
Oh, no. We have been talking the entire way there.
Oh, please do tell, sir.
So,
I'm
you asked about the wall last time we went to visit the Temple of Kellenborg.
I mean, it just seems like a more not concerned, I guess. Just like, what do you get out of your devotion to your god, Rafe? I mean, do you get any sort of, courage? I mean, I get you get magic power and whatnot, which, to be told, pretty cool. But like, does it help you in some way?
Well, yeah, understanding that your god is looking out for you is certainly comforting at times.
But
There's
are
a bit
they?
of well, in a way, yes. I mean, as you pointed out, I do get magic from my devotion, and if I am in need, I can go to a temple and get assistance. There are a lot of ways that Gonda's looking out for me, even if only indirectly.
I mean, but that's kind of my question, though, is, I mean, because, no, I mean, I've been healed by, your devotion through Gond, so I'm pretty happy about it, but Lucy gets his magic through his kazoo, and it's not as if he's praying to it, at least I don't think. And, I mean, there's plenty of people just helping folks. You don't need to belong to a certain god to do it.
That's true. Well, we did talk about the wall. If you're not convinced by the idea that the unfaithful spend eternity being furniture, I mean, what harm is there in offering a prayer, Garlo? And to be clear, I don't care if you offer your prayer to Gond or to Garl Glittergold. It's not relevant to me.
I mean, fair enough, my father followed Glittergold, but it's just, I mean, who the fuck is it for them to decide if I become part of a wall or not? I mean, fucker didn't help, Glittergold didn't help my pa.
Are you sure?
Sure, I fucking buried him. So, however much help he was.
I understand your anger, and it resonates with me, but to be honest, instead of being in the wall, your father now has the chance to answer Garl Glittergold's call to fight for the fate of our world, should there ever be a need.
I just don't think you need... I don't think someone should need a god to weigh in on anything that they do in their life. I mean, it just seems like if they want to make a difference, seems like something they could do pretty easily.
Oh,
Stop
I
unbelievers
agree.
from getting killed.
Your relationship with your god should be as personal as you want it to be. And if that's, the occasional prayer, and the infrequent offering of devotion, as long as you and your god are satisfied, who cares? The reason that they do get to make the decisions that they do is because they've fought for this world. All of them fight to keep out horrible, awful things that just want to destroy us.
As you finish that sentence, you see what can only be described as an out-of-place beggar in ratty clothing, long gray beard, patches of dark hair still within, in brown tattered robes. ringing a bell, a rusty bell, and screaming, "The end is near! The end is near! I've seen it! Gods be damned!"
Now, that man, Garlo, has lost all hope.
Yeah, but it seems that I feel like hope is something that you give other folks, Rafe. And I go over to the guy and I put 5 gold in his cup, and I say, "Go get yourself a room."
Nah, the end is near! Prepare yourselves!
I didn't need God to tell me that.
Comes.
Do you
I
mean...
see you will be touched soon.
Do you think he's talking about Ogra?
Soul be blessed. And he just kind of keeps wandering down the streets, hobbling away, with your gold still in his tin cup, ringing a bell.
I mean, maybe he's got a point. I mean, whatever the fuck is digging up folks in the graveyard, maybe it is a sign coming soon.
Well, if it is a problem, one of the gods will find a way to solve it, or put someone in a position to resolve the problem.
I mean, it worked out great for Neverwinter before. I'm just kind of looking over it like because we're not like within eye shot of like, you know, the tattered masses of like the old city, but I mean, there's still debris and whatnot, right?
There is. I mean, like, some of the bridges are still wrecked. That's from Hotenow and stuff like that. But, like, there are still sections of walls that you can see in the distance that are being repaired from other things as well. Continuing on through the streets, you do see some children playing occasionally. But as you get closer and closer to the Kellamvor Temple building, there's less and less people out. Just the nature of that part of the neighborhood. The Kellamvor Temple happens to also be across the street from what is known as the Neverwinter Academy, which is one of the premier educational facilities in the city. It's one of the places that you would call the equivalent of higher education for the non-trades and for certain nobles and others of higher birth to hone their skills of a variety of martial and other means. It seems quiet in the academy today. No one's out in the fields in front practicing swordsmanship or other martial skills. The Kellamvor Temple, on the other hand, appears to be a little more busy. From the outside, you do see the chimneys smoking as the hearths are stoked. But you see several Kellamvor clerics, full clerics, out and about, talking to various groups, calming the masses, if you will. And there appears to be a contingent of city guard standing by.
That seems interesting.
Is there an acolyte or a lower-ranking Kellamvorite who does not look preoccupied?
There is the high priest. He appears to be standing, and he may be doing some kind of ritual as he's burning incense in a large brazier. But he sees you coming and he stops for a moment, smiles. You recognize him from the night before. Won't say that I'm not happy to see you. Where's the rest of your friends?
They had some other errands to attend to, I'm afraid.
That's sad to hear. Well, there have been less bodies dug up. However, something attacked one of the patrols last night. Something very fast. And 3 of the men died. As the patrol, well, they believed to be dead. The patrol ran. They had to. When a reaction force went in force to go find whatever it was, the bodies were gone.
That's terrible to hear.
Truly unfortunate. I shall pray on this for guidance later.
They did not have the benefit of one of our priests with them at the time. So, unfortunately, they have asked that we send priests out with a lot of their contingents, and they've doubled the size of their patrols.
All seems reasonable and prudent to me.
Your priests are pretty good in a fight, then?
I would say they're better in some cases than others. They each have their skill sets. Our goal is to help move the dead to their resting place. Sometimes that means taking care of those who help those that do that as well. And defending those who are in rest against those who would do bad harm to them.
That's something I could probably get behind.
My friend and I were having a conversation on our way over. I'm afraid that I am not as familiar with the afterlife as I suspect most of your clergy are, but I have been trying to impress upon him the necessity of devotion, so that one does not end up in the wall.
Well, I don't know that it's devotion as much as getting the eye of your patron, whomever that may be. But devotion certainly doesn't hurt. Even those that aren't devout find their way. However, the highest levels are for those who are the most devout, or who have the greatest favor of their patron. Whomever that may be, for good or ill.
I've got I mean no disrespect to you, but I just feel like there's more down here that's worth fighting for than being kind of pious about and worrying about what comes afterwards.
Pious? Piety is only for certain gods. Each god has their own. Surely you know of the mischief of Garl Glittergold.
I do. My father followed Glittergold.
And surely you know of the mechanical wonders of Gond, although
I
wasn't
hear.
always so.
I roll my eyes. Probably have heard lectures on the road. Yeah, no, Gond is good.
So whether you follow the Dawn Father or Lovitar, the Mistress of Pain, if that is what you follow, as your one friend did, you will move along in the direction that you most follow, if all goes well. Now, to more pressing matters in the immediate life. Our concern is people are taking people's resting places and disturbing them horribly and preventing them from enjoying their rest. So, what information would you look for today? You did provide us what we were looking for. We would love to assist in return.
Yes, well, Garlo, I think you have a better grasp on our priorities here.
We're interested in seeing any of the logs that any of the guards might have had in the past couple nights about the comings and goings in and what they might have seen. We're curious about if anything else might be amiss that we're not seeing. I apologize to you, it's, this undead nonsense has got me a bit frazzled.
Certainly. Yes, feel free to check the entry and exit logs. We do count the entry and exit logs every time to see if everyone who's gone in has come out. We've only had a couple times where the counts didn't match, but when it's only one person, we're not terribly concerned. Usually it means that someone somewhere miscounted something. It's when we get concerned is when we see 4 or 5 or more than one, typically. That's when mischief happens. And occasionally we've caught teenagers trying to do, what teenagers do in a graveyard when they're alone, creepy
necromancy
sometimes. No, not pranks or feats of bravery or sometimes salacious lust. You never know. Teenagers do funny things sometimes. But we have caught people doing bad things here too. Rumors, attempting to, graveyard rob and so on. The worst case was maybe 10, 20 years ago when a lich tried to break into another place. But that person was sent back to their phylactery, thanks to other adventurers, much like yourselves. So, the logs are over here. Feel free to pour through them, and he brings you inside the building. Lets you pour through several different binders of different compiled notes, taken from the records of each of the guards at the different gates.
Yeah, as we're going through them, does he kind of leave us be in the records room? Just kind of.
He's just standing there over you. He's not watching over your shoulders, but he is
Sure.
keeping an eye on you. Just like you kept an eye on them when they were in your location.
Sure. Yeah. And I'm just looking over
Make an
it.
investigation check.
I assume that in this case I can assist Garlo with his investigation check.
You can go through another manual, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take all the help I can get.
Mhm.
Garlo's not the brightest egg in the tree. That's 14. Let's see. We'll go with the 14, but I'm actually going to go ahead and use my little D4 that I've been sitting on for a while.
Woo, yeah.
Okay.
Seems like the time. And the 4! 18! What are you doing?
18.
Nice.
Okay, so you do notice there's, comings and goings. There is a time, you go back and you go back and you go back and then you go forward looking for patterns or anomalies, in both cases. Each log covers a 10-day and then it goes to another page and then covers a 10-day. Entrances, exits, any notes in particular. There's the occasional note here of a funeral was this day or stuff like that. Nothing out of the ordinary though. About 3 months ago, you go all the way back, there was a Water Clock Guild funeral at some point. And then there was a day when 5 people went missing. That basically they went in and did not come out. No one knows what happened that day. They have never been found. Mischief or not. That was about 2.5 months ago. About a month ago, there was reports of some strange figures walking around all day looking at various different headstones and checking out various things. There was another group who registered a work permit for work on the foundation of the Water Clock Guild crypts. And that was about 10 days ago, which you registered you've seen them working. And then you've seen a few things also about notes about graves starting to open up at around that same period of time. And it's gotten worse and worse, and more reporting as those 10 days have passed, the last 20 days, basically. There were some reports of various different people coming out saying they had a real uneasy feeling and a dark feeling about things going on, but nothing else. Outside of let's see here, and we just had someone play a random D4 inspiration by 491 Phantom. Let me check to see who's got that. Turja, you've got random inspiration. Congratulations.
Rats.
I never get the random inspiration.
Well, you did today.
Fired.
With 6 players, it's easy to roll a d6 and count them out. So, that's what you discern for the most part. There are some stuff for the nighttime stuff where it's marking the guard patrols. You see the one where the group was attacked. But you see, noticeably there, except for the one attack, guards have reported graves opened up, but never anything happening to them until that one attack.
Because that's the other thing that I was trying to glean outside of just, what's been going on is, like, looking at these months, is there basically kind of like, does it kind of list when the night patrol walks around, essentially? So
there are several night patrols. They do like 2 to 3 hour shifts, okay. And there's more than one out at a time, but not enough to cover the entire cemetery, like with people. It's just not that they're not that many people normally to do that. Doubling the patrols is actually taking a toll, believe it or not, over the last couple days. But it's certainly possible. By doubling the patrols, they didn't double the amount of patrols, they doubled the size of the patrols.
And so how big is the patrol unit, roughly?
Normally it's 2 to 4, and now it's 6 to 8.
Right.
And typically where they can get it, a priest.
Garlo's formulating and percolating some plan ideas.
A lot of notes to keep from what I told you there.
Y'all, it looks like chicken scratch, but it's legible to me, and that's all it needs to be. All right. Was there anything else, Rafe, you were interested in?
No, that hit on the things that Rafe was curious about with the start of the corpse removals. That's what I'm going to call it, corpse removals. And the first attack that was logged. Are there any names attached to the group that got the permit to work on the guild tomb?
It appears to be some kind of masons group or masonry group that handles stonework. Triangle Construction is the name.
Triangle Construction. Okay, thank you. And I think that was really the only thing that I needed to glean out of that that Garlo didn't already cover.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're good.
All right. And with that, Lucy and Sim, we're going to Lee Feng's. You walk in. It is obviously a place of many wonders. You're looking for scrolls. He has scrolls. He has absolutely a scroll of comprehend languages should you need it. Like ready to go.
Grab it and go.
Yeah.
50 gold. Boom, boom.
Hello. Hold on one second. And I'm looking again for the. There you go. Charge it to the card.
Absolutely. Thank you. Here you go. Hands you a scroll.
You got Daddy's card. You don't want to buy another something?
I was gonna say, what other scrolls might you just have laying about?
What are you looking for?
Seeing what you might have just might spark a.
Okay, so I can do this one of two ways. I can just start rattling off maybe 4 things they've got.
I was gonna say,
or
just
you
whatever
can-
is, like,
you can
right
try
immediately.
to tell me what you're looking for.
No, I'm not looking for anything. I just want to know, like, hey, what are some things you might have just on hand?
We've got a heist coming up. You could think something might help the heist, maybe.
Hey, stranger, we're looking at robbing a place. Do you have anything?
Yeah,
to
what do
help
you
us with
have that assists? Yeah.
Because that'll go well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Well, I mean, we've got a variety of spells.
You have magical weapons?
A very few, and they're very expensive.
You have magical instruments?
We might have 1 or 2, also very expensive.
You have a kazoo?
No.
I'm
That's a
interested.
unique, specialized instrument that we would not normally carry.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So 50 gold pieces.
Mhm.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
This
You were
also-
asking for what scrolls we had available?
Yeah, what else you got?
We have Alarm. We have Bless. We have, of course, more comprehend languages. And let me check here on the catalog. What was this one? Cure Wounds for the adventurers on the go. And Featherfall, which I don't know how you would read that, but you can very quickly. It has enough on there that you could.
Okay. So that any of those are piquing my interest at the moment. Sim, do you have anything that you...
I thought you should mention cure wounds. Do you also do potions? Just the
Very
scrolls?
limited. Only the most unique types. The herbalist rest tends to outdo us on the healing side. They do a much better brisk business.
No worries. We can't make too many stops. How much for the cure wound scroll then?
50 gold.
Put it on. Lucy, put it on.
Yeah, you can add that on there. Yep.
Absolutely. If I could just get your signature here, sir.
Lucy?
Yep.
And can I see your thumb? Thank you. It's hot. Yes, thank you.
What is it with you guys? Come on.
Well, hot wax and thumbprints. That's how we verify.
It'd be warm wax.
Well, cold wax doesn't let your thumbprint stick in it. Thank you. Besides that, it allows anyone to magically discern whose thumb it really was to make sure that it really does belong to someone who can utilize the writ.
Oh. All right, thank you.
No worries. And wrote,
Guys
you
have,
write
like-
something on your writ, puts a seal on it. Thank you. That's 100 gold now off your writ. So you are down to 200 gold left on that writ.
Cool. Thank you
And
so
with that,
much.
Do the 3 groups now come back together at any place in particular?
Back at the house.
Yep, heading back to the house.
What, Lucy? You gonna go?
Nothing.
go
No,
spend
I
a
just
little
have
more?
No.
Okay. Meanwhile, back at the ranch. On your way back to the house, you guys all do come together before you get there. A few blocks before you get to the house, you see some stuff in the shadows. In an alleyway, obviously watching you.
Is it more little kids?
Yeah.
They are about kid-sized.
Who are they following? Everyone or?
Nope, they're just watching. from the shadows. You can definitely tell the figures are keeping an eye on you. They're deathly quiet, though.
Wave and
Alright.
walk on by.
Oh, you saw those too. Thank God. Ah.
They just wave back.
So I don't really care if they go tell them where we've been or not. I think at this point, our party knows where we're going.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything weird this time, so
Good shopping.
You want to go? You want to go hit him?
not other kids. Our little
Okay.
kids.
All right. Gonna hit him hard. Yeah. Guess we'll just go back inside.
Okay. So getting into the building, you guys getting together, I'm assuming you're all exchanging information. Any particular feelings about anything you want to relay?
I tell everyone about seeing the watch guy and the clock guild members at the Temple of Agma.
We might
And
be
they're
back,
overstaying our
though, so-
welcome.
I'm pretty sure there's some heat on that book. I've seen a lot of Knights of Agma about. I mean, it's a big city, but still, all at one place. And the copy of the text that I made, it started disappearing. I'm pretty sure somebody's actively hunting that book, and they're hitting my copy.
Well, if you need to make another copy, and I throw 1,000 sheets of paper on the table.
Was that something that we want done?
Now,
A
mind
copy
you-
of the book?
Vale, let me add another little detail. You guys only got through like the first 25% of that book.
Or trying to do the
Trying
research
to
and
find the
translate?
information and research it. Yeah, like there is a lot more to that book.
Oh, speaking of languages, we found a scroll. I didn't actually think that magic could come in a scroll, but you know what? Learn something new every day.
I sort of, my eyes light up and I go, really? How long does it last?
Those are questions we should have asked. You said find something with languages, and we did.
We found it. Yeah.
You ask too much.
Come on.
No, I'm not asking, I just, does it say on the scroll how long it lasts?
I open it.
It does.
It
It's
does
It's
read like a
guaranteed to
Pinterest
last
recipe,
1
though.
hour.
Yeah.
Lee Fing's quality-backed scroll writing product.
1 hour. Who's the fastest reader here?
I
Also,
am a machine.
That's true, Vel is now.
I mean, it could be something we wait to use in case there's, more things we can't read on the other side.
Well, my prediction is wherever that book is now, as soon as it pops back to near us, people are going to be after it actively.
I agree. Vel should do what he can with the book as quickly as he can now, and then we should get it somewhere where it can't be tracked.
I mean, it's hidden right now in the bag. Same thing we did with that necklace a while back.
You could always return it.
I was actually planning on doing that once we were done. I just haven't brought it up yet.
Okay.
So I can make the copy now. It won't take that long.
Make sure it's not an exact copy. If you make an exact copy, that magic thing might happen again.
No, it's not. It
Yeah,
won't
so people might
copy.
people don't like it when you copy their exact works. So
I'll say then, if you want to get to that, I have kind of an idea for getting in. Rafe and I found out that there was an attack last night, and so guards are actually up. There's more people in patrolling now, or around the graveyards and whatnot. So there is, though, because they're kind of haggard and spread, if we were to sneak in and hide out maybe in that shed, we could maybe walk the grounds if we're disguised as guards and a priest of, I mean, Gond might not be the right one, but I think you can change how that cloak looks, can't you, Rafe?
I turn into what I think is the wind priest again.
Or that too.
I have the nicer set of robes that I can make look like more or less anything.
So, I mean, if we're just a group of patrol people going around and as we patrol, we activate those little buttons that we need to hit, no one's going to look twice at a another patrol walking around.
Fair.
It's a reasonable plan, especially if. And I'm gonna pause and look over at Luciano. Our priest of Loviatar wants to come as well.
We have one of those?
Yes.
You still don't even know what that even means.
Yeah, I looked to Vale. I'm like,
But the trick is that they have a count of people who enter and exit, and if there's more than one or two folks, then they get antsy and they start looking around for them. So, if we can find some way to back and forth it, maybe some of us just do a couple laps trying to get in and out and try to fuzzy up the counting, but
What? Why don't we just ask them if we can do an ad hoc patrol for them?
Bad idea.
I'm
Of
worried
course, that's
though because
lying.
I'm worried though that if we're known people that sign up for this and then we do a bad thing trying to cut out, then they're gonna know it was us.
I mean, lots of stuff happens in a graveyard after dark.
I
It's
look
true, we heard there's teenagers.
the worst of the worst.
I mean, it could work, or some of us could try that and then get around easy, or we could try to stealth it. How are y'all feeling about it?
Hey, you tell me what to look like, and I change into a guard outfit, and I'll do it. As far as stealth, I'm more of a walk right in kind of guy than a hide in plain sight kind of guy.
I think it's probably the best plan we got. Good
I'm
work.
not sure that beyond deploying a whole bunch of extra guards to look around, they'll do anything if an entire patrol disappears.
A good point.
Okay.
I
I'd say
think-
the other thing.
I don't think there's a perfect way to go about this. I think there's no amount of planning or trying to dodge around things. We're gonna get caught, and it's probably gonna hurt at some point. I know we're trying to minimize it, but also we just need to kind of pick something and go with it.
Sure. That was another thought I had with the fact that, I mean, things might be dicey on our way out, and we heard that someone calling about needing extra hands on a boat leaving town.
Ooh.
We could have Downtrodden go and talk to him for us if we need to get hired onto a crew quick that leaves quick, maybe? Or
Rafe?
Do any of you actually know how to do ship work? I don't.
I read a book on it
thing,
once.
tie a rope.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, I'm pretty good at picking things up on the fly.
Third job this month.
Just can't keep it down.
But Rafe, are you okay with travel by sea?
If we have to do it to get away, then we have to do it to get away.
I'm just saying as a fallback. I mean, I know we still have, things to do with Miss Blackwell and whatnot, but if things are dicey and we need to get out of Dodge, it might be easy to just take a boat.
Well thought out, Garlo. Who knew that you were the brains of the operation?
The brain's a muscle, right?
Oh, yeah.
Starts flexing.
One of the two, anyway.
All right. So then, what are we thinking then? Do we try to sneak in and subterfuge, or try to, honest person plan?
I
Or
think
the-
our best bet is to go in during the day, in the afternoon, and then hide somewhere and wait for dark.
First one to get found loses. I mean, obviously, but also.
Really, they do.
Yeah.
Okay, and with that, we come back next week to find out if the party executes its plan safely. But this is D&D, so we know they're not. So
It's gonna be fine.
Well.
Are you telling them not to come back, Reed? Because that doesn't.
Oh, no.
sound like a good
I'm
plan.
telling them, come back and watch the hijinks begin. So, with that, let's do a quick closeout real quick for everybody, and then we'll do a raid, I'm sure. So, what do we got next?
Everybody, don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel. Subscribing is free, and once you have, that way you won't miss any of the action, and you will also get access to additional content. Remember, everyone, that your likes and positive comments in the videos help other adventurers to find out about the show, so please go over and like and subscribe as soon as you can. Brendan?
Yeah, if you liked our stuff tonight, be sure to check out the other shows here on the Games Tavern. Saturday, cue the crawl. We have First Knights, that is our Star Wars RPG game. Our Jedi have conquered the trials of arrival, cooperation, and fear, leaving only the trial of introspection and the construction of their personal lightsabers. They are very close to being recognized as Jedi Knights and accepting the heavier mantle of responsibility. Oh, a bunch of nerds. But also on Wednesday, you can explore the world of Eberron with our show Dirty Deeds at 7 p.m. Eastern. As the crew prepare to enter the Mournlands once again, they have fought 2 assassins who are after Tyrion. Ro has also returned to the party, but something about her patron seems to be troubling her.
And,
Mhm.
ooh, okay, hang on. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Sorry.
One Phantom, for the card.
Our tech goblin was in my ear here. So, you got to watch us all use our main sponsor, Shard Tabletop, all through this session. And let me tell you, we were asked about notes earlier. I take all my notes in Shard Tabletop. And that means that they're available to anybody who logs into Shard Tabletop to look at my character's notes, which is useful because other than Brendan, nobody else takes notes.
I know that's not true.
Roll
I
for
know
shots
that's not
fired.
I was gonna say. Hold on.
I admit my note taking has been more sporadic than I like,
Excuse-
but I often do
excuse
take
me.
notes.
Excuse me. Most people don't take notes consistently.
We
I
are the
think
fiber
Rafe
of
is going to get
note-taking.
knifed this weekend when everybody sees him next. Okay.
She's mad, and yet she's
Yeah.
also rewatching early episodes because she can't remember what we did.
So there are going to be 5 streamers next week, just so everyone knows.
Right, yes, Alex is going to kill me. Don't worry about it. Not a big deal.
Untimely demise.
ShardTabletop.com.
With how much-
Great Farine in the show, Night Farine outside.
Shard20 for 20% off your next sub.
Oh, thank you.
I should probably mention this. So we are in the process of loading content onto Shard Tabletop that you'll be able to get a hold of soon. So keep a lookout on Shard Tabletop for stuff that is inspired by our shows that we are loading up that you can get for your own games. So just hang in there. Yeah. I didn't mean to stop all the discussion. Just a heads
Oh,
up.
you're good.
No. That was important news.
Yeah.
I think we're done, right?
I
That's the
think
last
we
announcement,
are.
right?
I think we
Yeah.
I can't wait
So-
until next week.
Honestly.
So, yeah. So, real quick, a big thank you to our moderators and a big thank you to all of you for watching tonight. We will see you next week on Whiskey, Magic, and Destruction on the Games Tavern.